Beyond words, our souls collide in the rhythm where dreams reside. Beyond words, we touch the sky.
Welcome to the Beyond Words Deep Dive Sessions, an inspiring exploration of the book Beyond Words by Marcia and John.
Ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of information? Ads, jingles, notifications. It's like our brains are constantly under attack.
Right. It's no wonder we feel so mentally exhausted half the time.
Well, today we're diving into some excerpts from Beyond Words. And let me tell you, it's like finding an oasis in that desert of distractions.
It really makes you think about how much control we actually have over our attention, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh.
And Beyond Words digs into this thing called the reticular activating system, or RAS for short. Sounds kind of technical, but it's actually a pretty relatable concept.
It is. It is. Think of it this way. Remember when you were super set on getting a new car?
Oh, totally. Like you were picturing yourself cruising around town, maybe even had a favorite color picked out.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you start seeing that same car everywhere.
Like it's following you around, right? You're like, wait a minute, did everyone else suddenly decide to get this car too?
Well, not exactly. It's your RAS kicking in. It's like this little filter in your brain deciding what you pay attention to. So when you made that car important in your mind, bam, your RAS starts flagging it down for you, making it stand out from all the other cars on the road.
So it's not just about what's actually around us. It's about what our brain decides is important enough for us to notice.
Exactly. It helps us focus, prioritize, not get bogged down by everything. But here's where it gets interesting. Imagine that same powerful tool being used by, say, advertisers.
Oh, man. Don't even get me started on those targeted ads. It's like they're reading my mind sometimes.
That's your RAS being subtly influenced. They're tapping into your desires, those things you've already decided are important.
So how do we fight back?
It's not really about fighting, but more about understanding. Once you know how this system works, you can start making conscious choices about what gets your attention.
So instead of letting those targeted ads dictate my desires, I can choose to focus on, I don't know, like my goals or appreciating the little things.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming your attention and using it to your advantage.
Okay, I like the sound of that. So we've explored how our RAS can be, well, a little sneaky. But Beyond Words doesn't stop there. It suggests we can use this knowledge for good, even influence others with it.
Which opens a whole new can of worms.
For sure. Because if we're not careful, that crosses the line into manipulation. And Beyond Words is clear. The difference is all about our intention. Are we trying to control or genuinely connect? Using this knowledge to help or to exploit?
You got it. And that's something worth exploring further. But first, let's talk about how our thoughts, positive versus negative ones, actually change our brain chemistry. Remember those neurotransmitters we learned about way back when?
Oh, absolutely. Dopamine, cortisol. I have a feeling they come into play here. So we're not just talking about slapping on a happy face and hoping for the best. There's actual science behind this whole positive thinking thing.
You better believe it. Beyond Words gets into how our emotions actually affect how our brains work. Think of your brain like a company, right? With different departments, each with its own job.
Okay, I like that. So different parts of my brain are in charge of different things.
Exactly. And when we're feeling upbeat, optimistic, our prefrontal cortex, that's the head honcho. Planning, making decisions, getting creative, you name it. It's where the good stuff happens.
So when I'm feeling good, that part of my brain is really firing on all cylinders.
You got it. And to make things even better, those feel-good chemicals, dopamine being one of them, they get released, boosting your mood even more. It's a win-win. But here's the catch. When we're stressed out, negative, feeling down, a different department gets called in. And it's not pretty.
Oh, sounds a little ominous. What is it?
The amygdala. And trust me, it's not here to play games.
Okay, the amygdala. What's its deal?
Survival. Pure and simple. Wired to react fast to threats, whether they're real or just in our heads. And when this part takes over, forget clear thinking. Forget making good decisions.
Our brain basically hits the panic button.
Pretty much. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods our system, and suddenly it's like our brain forgets how to function normally. And Beyond Words has this great example about a sales conversation.
Oh yeah, I remember that. How even the way you talk to someone can influence their state of mind.
Right. If a salesperson focuses on the negative, on everything that's going wrong, they're keeping the customer stuck in that fear-based reactive state. But if they shift the focus to solutions, to a brighter future, it's like flipping a switch in their brain.
So just by choosing our words carefully, by framing things positively, we can actually help someone shift to a more empowered state of mind.
Exactly. It's like giving them a mental roadmap, guiding them away from stress and towards clarity and possibility. Subtle, but crazy effective. And speaking of effective communication, Beyond Words dives into Milton language too.
That's the one developed by Milton Erickson, right? The hypnotherapist.
I've always been curious about how that works. It's pretty wild. He was a master at using language to influence the subconscious, and Milton language patterns, basically these carefully crafted statements that are kind of vague, leaving room for the listener to fill in the blanks.
So you're not directly telling them what to think, but kind of guiding them in a certain direction.
Precisely, like planting a seed of suggestion. Beyond Words gives some cool examples, like as you notice the rhythm of your breath, you might find yourself naturally relaxing more and more. Not telling you to chill out, but gently nudging you towards that state.
Wow, that's amazing. The power of language is no joke.
Tell me about it. And the book encourages readers to even come up with their own Milton language patterns, like having your own secret code for positive communication.
Love it. Okay, so we've gone from how our attention works to using language to influence our own minds and the minds of others. And Beyond Words takes it even further with 4 levels of influence we can tap into. Talk about a toolkit for shaping our reality, right?
It is like a toolkit, yeah. But like any tool, you got to use it responsibly.
Right. No one wants to be that person who manipulates everyone around them.
Exactly. This knowledge is about empowerment, not control. But understanding these levels helps us make smarter choices in how we interact with the world.
Okay, lay it on me. What are these 4 levels?
All right, so level 1 is the most direct, but it comes with a big old warning label. It's all about directly messing with our body chemistry, our internal environment, with things like,
Okay, so messing with our body chemistry, what are we talking about? Like downing energy drinks all day.
Yeah, well, that's one way to do it. But yeah, it's about things that directly affect our internal state. Caffeine is a perfect example, right? Most of us use it, helps us wake up, focus.
Makes sense.
Beyond Words even mentions things like prescription medications. But obviously, you don't mess around with those without talking to a doctor. That's a whole other ballgame.
For sure. For sure. So not recommending anyone start self-medicating here. So that's level 1. What about level 2? How's that different?
Level 2 is more about taking control of your bodies, like control panel. We're talking breathing exercises, meditation, things like that.
So less about external substances, more about what we're doing with our minds and bodies.
You got it. Tapping into our own ability to regulate how we feel.
I like that. Taking charge instead of letting our emotions run wild.
Yeah.
Okay, level 3. This is where things get really interesting, right?
Level 3 is all about perception, how we see things, how we interpret our experiences.
So 2 people could be in the exact same situation, but their experience of it, how they feel about it, could be totally different.
Exactly. Picture this. You're about to give a big presentation. One person, they're freaking out, thinking about all the ways it could go wrong, heart's racing, palms are sweaty, total panic mode.
I know that feeling.
Right. But then someone else, same situation, they might feel that adrenaline rush and think this is it, time to show them what I've got.
Same physical response, but completely different reaction.
It's all about how we choose to see it. And that choice, that shift in perception, it can change everything.
Wow, I never thought of it like that. Okay, bring on level 4. What's the final level of influence?
Level 4 brings us back to our actions. Because get this, what we do can actually change how we feel.
Wait, so you're saying if I act a certain way, it can actually shift my mood? I don't have to wait for my feelings to catch up.
Bingo! Beyond Words talks about power poses. Standing tall, shoulders back, even smiling when you don't feel like it.
So it's not just about faking it till you make it.
It's more like tricking your brain into believing it, those neurotransmitters we talked about. Our body language can actually influence them. Standing tall, for example, can boost testosterone, that's the confidence hormone, while lowering cortisol, the stress hormone. Even forcing a smile can release endorphins, those feel-good chemicals.
Okay, you've blown my mind today. I'm adding power poses to my to-do list, like right now. So we've covered a ton of ground today. Our attention, our thoughts, our words, even our posture. It all ties into how we influence ourselves and the world around us.
It's a lot to take in, but hopefully you're leaving with some new tools for your toolkit.
Absolutely. Beyond Words is like a roadmap to understanding the hidden powers of our own minds. So for everyone listening, remember, you are not just along for the ride, you are the driver. You get to choose where your attention goes, and those choices, they shape everything.
Well said. And remember, influence, when used for good, can make a real difference.
So go out there and make your mark, one thought, one word, one action at a time.
Thank you for listening. Give us a like and share your comments. Order the book via the link in the comments. Stay tuned for more.
Beyond words, our soul